Good evening, Ira Epstein, and let me wish you all a Merry Christmas. I'm here in my red. This will be it. So I'm out of the Christmas mode tomorrow. And I hope you all had a great holiday. Today is Tuesday, December 26, 2023. So we look at the markets, and, I looked at what MasterCard said. They said sales were up 3.1%. I'm not impressed with that. Not at all. It doesn't look to me like a super strong sales season. I'll bet that the markets are going into full sale gear right now to resolve things and get rid of merchandise that they can. I don't think the store's overstocked, but I'll bet that you're going to get some very good sales. And so I pay attention to that as to what's going on. We're still dealing with a terrible situation in the Middle East. Israel's got two fronts. It is not going to listen to President Biden at this point. The only thing that will probably get Israel to stop is Hamas releasing a lot of prisoners, coming to the table with a big number. Them telling Israel, you stop, and then we will consider that, and we'll release our prisoners. We want 6,000 in return. Isn't going to happen, all right? They'll just go in and what they're doing. If they could increase their air fire, they would do it. If they could kill more people right now, they would do it, and they're just going to go, go, go. They keep saying there's months of that. That's a bluff, too. Not that they don't want to get rid of it, but I don't think they can. I don't think that they can get rid of the Hamas element. I think at the end of the day, there's going to be a realization as to how much damage they've done, where they're at, world pressure. And as long as the U.S. keeps its veto power, which it'll be pressured to do from the elements in America, Israel will have the go-ahead. So somewhere along the line, there has to be another way. I'd be very careful about what Iran is doing. Iran keeps pushing, if you will, the needle and succeeding. Do not think they're failing. They've got all their proxies fighting, doing what they want. They have been accused of firing a missile into the Indian Ocean. They said, no, we didn't. Okay. Did you read the latest report from the nuclear agency? They claim right now they are ramping up more nuclear production capability. They are kicking up the amount of uranium enrichment they're at. They're at 80%, 60%. They want to go higher right now. So they're pushing every needle they can, and everybody seems to be petrified of setting the Middle East on fire when they don't realize it is on fire. It's already there. The coalition that's going to protect the Red Sea, nonsense. Okay? I hate to say it, nonsense. The Houthis are still firing. The U.S. and Syria and Iraq keeps getting attacked. You can call these coalitions. They'd all work if they could use their firepower. But politics being what it is, the market is holding back. One of these mornings we'll wake up and somebody with reason's going to say to somebody, let's show what we can do and put an end to this. But until that happens, it'll be the other end of it, and your world production, your world shipping, your world whatever will be held hostage by Iran until that event happens. You don't have to agree with me. I am not saying create World War III. I am just saying what the facts are. You don't have to agree, but that's where they're at. And anything you want to argue with it won't work, because just look at the end result. That's where you're at. Poor Nike's not in the middle of that. Look what's happened to Nike in 48 hours of trading. The bottom has fallen out of this particular stock. Huge gap. It's called a repricing event. And it took the market from 125 down to the 108 level. And it is a repricing event. There are people that are going, get me out of this. If you can get a rally in it, I'll get out at 117. What's it going to take to get back over those highs? Something that I don't see on the market. When I see events like this happen on a chart, there's a reason they happen. Something bad, real bad has taken place. And that's what they're feeling. You're back under the 200-day average. The next stopping spot could be the 100 or the Bollinger Band, and it's most likely the Bollinger Band, which comes in at 107.69. Please take a look at today's low, 107.48. So you're at that zone. You got there on the past Friday and Tuesday. Remember, we weren't open yesterday, and the market's there. Could you work a bit lower? You could, but you're already in oversold territory. Is there anything bullish about this chart? Zippo. Nothing. It'll take a long time to restructure something like that. Then I take a look at Rivian. So Rivian's still got the pattern of higher lows, higher highs. Now I'm reading about BYD, and I'm going to cover that next week. BYD does have ATRs that trade in America, but they are the powerhouse in China of cars. So I'm going to stick in that theme next week. I'm already doing the chart action I want. I think it's called Buddy, is BYDDY for the American symbol for it. It's something you might want to look at. But suffice to say, why this company's succeeding, at least on the chart action, has to do with the fact that they understand and they went to do commercial trucks. And their commercial truck division is phenomenal. Their Rivian SUV, their truck, let's call it their truck, not their SUV, just won some events. It's such a powerful vehicle. It just went up and did some mountain climbing, and it's winning different events. So higher highs, higher lows, until the red line closes under 79, I remain in the bull camp. Close under that, and you could get easily back to the 18 and the 100-day average of closes. Don't do that. You have an opportunity for 25.79, but it looks a little rich in price here. UGA, the gasoline fund, it's had a nice rally, but look where it failed, the 200-day average. So you had that short covering rally, kicked it all up, and the market seems to be falling back a little bit. I was just in Indiana yesterday and filling up my car, and I was pricing when I got back to Chicago, and it's a 45-minute drive, so it's not far away. But it was terrible weather. I mean, last night, first time in a long time I was scared. I turned around at points and was nervous and put out an update late today because of it. I won't go into when I left and all. But so much fog, so much rain, it was nerve-wracking. And the truck I normally followed, I suddenly realized he had intermittent lights. They were going out. I like to get behind the truck. They're generally the best guys to follow in that. And that sort of got me off the road for a while. And there was no traffic. It's Christmas. It's early. It's very difficult. Suffice to say, all right, I'm here and I'm alive. But the gasoline, $1 less a gallon in Indiana, 45 minutes out of downtown Chicago. I mean, it's insane what taxes can do. But I'm looking at a market right here that is overbought, had been in an uptrend, and is now stalled out. That's the way to approach it. When we look at the financial service sector, you lost the embedded reading, and it's still lost. Before prices get over this high, right, what I'm pointing to, I would expect the 18-day average to be hit. If not, and it gets back up there, it's a sign of even more strength yet to come in that market. So we're at an important juncture right there. Here you came down, you did not lose the embedded reading, and you went back up on the industrial sector. It's basically a new high for the move. This market is just acting really good, which brings me to this. We have watched all of November be a monster rally. We got into December, and instead of hanging around and consolidating, we spent about 5 days going sideways in the market overall and then took off again. What does that mean for January? There's a very predictable pattern there. That doesn't mean it has to follow it, but there is one that's there. I cover it tonight in my full research report for people with statistics behind it. So, I really like to watch those things. I have an idea what to expect, but I'm not going to share it here. You have to have my full research to get that. In AMC, a disaster. I want to go down and make that statement. The hope was that Aquaman would do phenomenal. It's not a good movie, all right? It's not getting a good buzz. Wonka is blowing the heck out of it in terms of a lower budget. I think $100 million to produce it, and they had taken in, as of yesterday, $270 million. You're not going to save the movie theater Christmas season with what you've got. I don't know about Ferrari yet, but it's not that kind of movie that'll bring in the big viewers. It's going to be more of guys like me that like racing and that, but I can't imagine my wife wants to go see Ferrari. So those are problems that you're going to have. So I think I'm right. At first, I was hoping $7 would be a pivot number. I'm now questioning, is it going to be $6? They've just got a problem, and I don't think it can be resolved till we get probably mid-February. Who's going to release a blockbuster movie that's going to do well in January, right after Christmas? I own the movie theater. It's not how it works. All right, so it'll be later. We have a lot of movies, as you know, that have been delayed because of the Screen Actors Guild strike and the actors strike. Okay, the writers and the actors, I should say it that way. And they'll come out, but a lot of stuff has been put back. This is not good news. I was hoping it would be a very different Christmas for them. I say the movie industry's got a problem. RSPD, as you can see, the consumer, well, they bought. According to MasterCard, 3.1% increase Christmas spending. It's not double digit. It's not even over 6-7%. I think it stinks. I know I'm by myself with that, but I'd be very concerned right here. I think the consumer got smart and he held back and he said, you know, we bought a bit here, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We didn't have to do that and the sales are coming. I think they're super cost conscious. Now, we know that there were Christmas sales. A lot of the stores had marked down by 40%. That didn't get them. Wait for the next round. It's coming right at you. That's when things will get made up. In the home builders, you know, anything I look at just says that as long as mortgages keep basically falling, and they have been, the home builders are going to be fine. Remember how down here, when everything was falling apart, I made statements to you back here. And I said, guys, I've been in this game. I used to speculate buying homes. And they know how to buy down mortgages. They know how to give you different deals. They'll finance your first round. If you buy, when you refinance, there's many things they can do. You think they didn't deploy them? Absolutely deployed them. They got themselves out of that. And then as rates started falling, the market took over and helped them out a lot. They don't have to be so aggressive now, so they'll make a bit more money. On the energy sector, the problem with the energy sector is really simple. We're not getting enough stuff to market and things are slowing down, and what is coming in more costly. If you can't use the Red Sea, you've got a big problem. That means another 7 to 11 days of shipping many types of oil tankers because of the routes they have to take. And if you believe this nonsense, that there's a coalition going to put together an armada to save these ships, I'll believe it when I see it. Here's why I don't believe it. They're still firing, the Houthis are still firing missiles. They hit one today. Iran supposedly fired a missile into the Indian Ocean over the weekend. Nobody's willing to take on Iran. Why? Blows my mind. My job in this report, and I had somebody write me and they are right, is not to share all my political views. That doesn't mean I can't say that what's doing this is that, and until the West wants to do something about it, and it's not my job to say, is it right or wrong, whatever they do, the problem persists. Iran's even kicking up its nuclear enrichment program right now. So they're really saying to the world, screw you. We're going to do what we want, how we want. We'll control the Mideast, not you. You're scared to death of a war and everything breaking out there. We'll control the day. That's fact. You don't have to agree with me. It is the way it is. When it changes, it changes. GLD up to the upper Bollinger Band. Why is gold going up? Mideast. It's staring you in the face. It's Mideast. Every time you see one of these attacks, every time I read about the nuclear enrichment, do you want to be short gold in that environment? Well, good for you. Silver's not participating because it's not gold in that environment. I still like the silver market here, and I think if somehow this all gets toned down and things came alive, I think silver would come alive with it. But this is what's holding that back. And the copper market, well, the copper market's still looking good. So my argument on silver is not the best argument since copper's still alive here, looking better than I thought it would. Then we get to the interest rate area. So if the red line closes under 79, you could easily then get a correction into the combination of 97.32, the 200-day average, to the 18. But until that's lost, you don't have to go down there. This, not this, is ruling the market, momentum. And as long as the momentum stays strong, embedded, I think it rules the day. In the dollar, did I not put out a super bearish dollar report? Did the market not come down and continue down? Hasn't shown you any sign that it's coming alive right here. I think things are bad for the dollar going forward. I know you don't agree, and most people don't, but I don't think it's that positive. I think that as you get into January and February, you're going to realize Congress is so dysfunctional, they cannot get a budget done. Everybody's going to fight for the presidential election and their stance on it. And their stance will be from the Republicans, we're not giving in anymore, into the Democrats, they're scared to give in because of the election coming up. You've got real problems. And if you were to ask me, I say we get a government shutdown by the February timeframe. I think January's first date will be a disaster. I think it's January 10th. I'm wrong, and I'll eat crow if they're able to get past that without that disaster. How's that? In FXE, it's the flip-flop of the dollar. It wins because the dollar is going to do so bad if I'm right on the politics of things. So you put it together, you come up with a game plan. Now, I know a lot of you like to know what I'm reading, what I'm writing about, buys here, sells there, specific. In my full research and in my morning subscriber videos, not these free ones, I do that. All you need to do, if you're watching me on YouTube, hit that button and subscribe. As I record my updates, I walk over and I push a button. They appear on the YouTube, and your subscription would give it to you. Or you can go to our website at iraepstein.com, go to the word research, and subscribe there, and you'll get an email from me in that case. You'll get a link, how to watch everything, and on our website, you get to go in there and see all my reports. I'm Ira. You have yourself a good evening. It's nice to be here. Merry Christmas to all. We have more days of Christmas. It's not one day. You take care.